Happy Valentine's Day from the HLP crew. Lyra wanted me to let you all know her love for you is as deep as the ocean. Before you enjoy episode 27, we have a few announcements. The Zone of Truth will release its first episode on the 18th, so look out for that on Monday. Don't forget, our giveaway ends on the 21st, so get your entries in. Each social media interaction is its own entry, and an iTunes review is worth 2.
Sorry, Emily, I actually got to step in here for a moment. Don't mean to interrupt your intro, but I wanted to announce a second special giveaway for those of you that reviewed us on iTunes. We've seen a lot of support in the past couple weeks on iTunes, and we are coming close to that 50 review number. So I'm putting it out there now that if we reach 50 reviews by the time the giveaway is over, I will take the pool of active 5-star reviews, shuffle them up, and pick one of you to be immortalized in one of our evil interludes by helping me create the big bad for the next one. So get your iTunes reviews in. I'm really excited to mash up with one of you and make that happen.
Without further ado, say hi to our newest episode, Bob Vance, Vance, Decapitation.
Do you like liquor and things that go boo? Then buckle up, listener, cause this one's for you. Prepare yourself for the Hideous Laughter Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hideous Laughter Podcast, episode 27. This episode brought to you by Team No Slurp. But Steve, I still want to know, what are you drinking?
Well, Griffin, tonight I'm going to be drinking a Buzz Light beer. That's a craft beer. It's a golden honey ale brewed by the fine folks in Imperial Oak Brewing, all the way from Willow Springs. Yeah, it's Willow Springs, Illinois.
Willow Springs, Illinois.
My folks were in town a couple weeks ago. They brought it to me, and it's really tasty.
Nice. Brooks, what are you drinking?
It was a tasty beer.
This is Milk.
Now.
A cream stout from Columbus Brewing.
Nice.
Yes.
Pretty
very
good?
Very good.
Awesome. Haley, how about you?
Did Horace give that to you?
I think he goes for the pure,
Milk.
the pure 2% stuff.
Almost as good as milk.
Okay.
Clever. Milk. Almost as good as milk.
What are you having, Haley?
I am drinking Capriccio Sangria.
Capriccio Sangria. What about you, Emily?
I'm treating myself to some Riesling tonight.
Oh, nice. Got some wine going on. As for me, I'm having a rum and Dr. Pepper, and it's pretty good.
This up would come out on Valentine's Day, right?
It would.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day, listeners.
Love is in the air.
Oh, man.
Did you write me a card, Eclipse? Come on,
I'm
read
not,
it.
No, I'm not
Read it
answering
to
this.
me.
I'm not.
My eyesight is not what it used to be. Please read it. I don't have my readers.
I regret everything. I never should have brought
Happy
this up.
Valentine's Day.
I was just gonna say, well, the girls are having wine and I had chocolate beforehand. It's a Valentine's Day episode, but no, now we got weird.
It's not weird, it's love.
Wow.
Profound.
A little early in the relationship to put the label on it, but man's ambitious.
He's ambitious.
I was going to say, he knows what he wants and he goes after and gets it.
Yeah.
Man of conviction and true vigor.
Bigger.
So, guys, last episode was pretty goddamn tense, was it not? We ended a combat with the Lopper. Ikmer inches from death. Matumbe went down.
Yeah.
Almost died. Well, it was one round from death. You guys killed the Lopper in the round that Ikmer would die.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Curses. I'll have to pull out more big bads for you guys to die to.
Well, there's 4 more.
4 more bad guys in the prison.
We're doing great.
1 out of 4? Figure you guys will, at this point, you'll just lose a character per.
Yeah, I mean, the math checks out.
You got to get one down, and then you could lose one party member per, and still, end the haunted prison thing without, you guys will all be dead, but
Well, that
Ravencrow will
would
go
be
on.
totally weird for one person coming out of this prison and then 3 other new people going in and coming out.
Who says you get a new character, Brooks? If Victor had died there, you were just going to be off the show.
All right. This is a whole new stakes.
Remember, if your character dies, you have to kill yourself in real life too.
Oh,
Jeez.
I wasn't aware of that rule,
Oh,
but
boy.
I mean,
Do we have
I guess
to- do we
rules
have-
are rules.
Do we have to die the same way?
It's like ghost axe.
Ghost X.
Well,
In
no,
a
you-
haunted prison.
Yep. There's a couple of those around here, I think.
There's one right next to my work. Yeah,
Oh,
I
cool.
walked by it the other day.
We should do that for Halloween. We should go to haunted prison.
Yeah, that's put that on the bucket list.
Yeah.
For sure.
We'll get that going.
I like it.
Record it for a Zone of Truth episode.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh yeah, by the way, top of the episode. This is the first episode after we have formally announced Zone of Truth, and we're currently getting very excited to release that. By
Yeah.
the time this is out, it'll only be a couple short days before it's out.
Yeah, people are stoked. And I'm stoked.
Got a lot of good questions so far. I'm pretty
No, we would have recorded the episode by now. I would say there's still time to get questions in for the episode, but I'm all confused. This is very complicated.
recording 2 podcasts has got me all screwed up.
Fucking disaster. Also, there's a week left to get in the contest.
Yeah.
We're giving shit away.
Yeah, we're giving shit away.
For
We got
free. We'll even
free.
pay the shipping.
that's one step too far. You gotta pay your own goddamn shipping. No, of course we'll pay the shipping.
the winners need to Venmo us, and then we're gonna send them something
It's
that they
really
might not have
weird.
bought
The
themselves.
shipping rate was like the same as the cost of the regular items plus shipping. UPS was really dicking me around when I
boy.
tried to send these to you. But yes, we will definitely pay the shipping. We're excited to get some winners announced next week.
Watch some listener in like New Zealand wins.
Yeah, that'll be really fucking brutal,
We're in
but yeah,
trouble.
we'll deal with it. We'll deal with the punches. So, I want to start this episode off with a vision. We open on this scene. Eclipse sees a man, and she kind of struggles around. He's got her by the scruff of the neck, and she realizes that she's bound. She can't move her arms. They're bound together behind her. All right, well, in you go then. She looks forward and she sees a pit, and she's shoved into it. The pit is black. She can't see the bottom, but she feels the weightlessness as she falls down and down, and her feet hit the ground first. With a sickening snap, she feels both of her shins shatter. Nearly passing out from the pain, she languishes at the bottom of this pit. And it's weird for Eclipse because everything is dark and she can't see. Days go by, or so she thinks, until one day, as if brought by a breeze, this flask descends the pit and doesn't shatter. And on it is a note. Squinting in the darkness, she can barely make out. A note from her friend, the Splatterman. Drink this, and bring hell to the guards that keep us here. She takes a sip, and ascends. And upon reaching the top of this pit, she sees the man that threw her in. And for a moment, instead of darkness, she sees red. She sneaks to the edge of the pit, floating there, while a tray with food is delivered. And through the bars, she's able to grab the man and pull him down. With a swift, deft motion, she pulls his sword from his side and decapitates the man. Blood pouring all over her. She then takes the keys and opens the latch. The next thing she sees is fire. Fire and chaos. Fire blocking all exits. She races back to the hole that she once called home and dives back in. But this time she came prepared with a rope. This time she knew if she could wait out what's happening outside, she could emerge again. The smoke didn't seem to reach the bottom. And so, as the fire burned out, she climbed once more, nearly to the top, until the rope, badly damaged by the fire around, snapped. And so did her legs once again. Familiar feeling of being stuck in the dark. This time hungry, this time thirsty. She sat and she imagined getting vengeance on the guard that put her here once more. And then Eclipse hears
You don't have to call me the Lopper anymore. We're friends now. You can call me Vance.
Does she respond?
Hi. Hi, Vance. You can probably go now.
But I don't want to leave. You see, we're gonna get even closer. We're friends now, compadre. You and me and you. I know you. And you're gonna get to know me. Call me Vance. I think we'll get along better that way.
Okay, friend. How are you helping me?
We'll find out, won't we?
And then we fade back to the scene. Eclipse in the corner of the room. Ikmer laying on the ground, just having come out of his near-death unconsciousness. Lyra cradling his head, Matumbe making sure that his bandages are still tight, making sure that the blood has stopped flowing. I need everybody that is not Eclipse to make a perception check.
Episode title, Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration.
That's all I could think about. It was like not a moment to laugh.
Hey, GM. Am I corrupted now?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, because, like, I can add that I'm possessed, because it feels like probably I am, to my sheet. There's a lot of manifestations, though, so, I mean, just think about that. Because there are actual benefits that my friend Vance could be giving me.
Yep.
Or terrible negatives.
So what
What benefits?
what did everybody roll?
I got a 9 on the die. That brings me up to a 13 off that perception.
18.
18.
1.
Oh, boy.
Ikmer is still nearly comatose, although he's alive and stable, and you saw his eyes flutter. He's conscious and maybe like whispering. He's too far gone to hear any of this. Matumbe paying too close attention to keeping Ikmer's wounds sealed. But Lyra, it almost sounds like Eclipse is having a conversation. And you look over, you know, as you're kind of cradling Ikmer's head, you look over and it's the weirdest thing. You swear it's not like she's talking to herself. You hear her voice change when she responds. And that's what you hear.
That's not a good sign.
And now I want to know what you guys are doing, because you've been through hell. What's going on in your characters' heads? What are your characters saying to each other at this point? And what is your reaction to whatever the hell's going on with Eclipse?
Well, we established that like Matumbe's right over Ikmer, making sure that the bandages are tight, and then he's going to pull through, and he's going to speak to Ikmer and say,
My boy, are you going to pull through? Are you okay?
Yeah, it was a weird feeling before. Everything just kinda went black and fuzzy, but I could have sworn I called out to you guys, and next thing I knew, you guys were here. And, you know, I thought I could see you, even though I'm pretty sure all the lights were out in here and my vision wasn't so good.
We heard you, Ikma. We came as soon as we could. We had to dispatch with the lopper.
You know, to be honest, I think that, you know, I guess I'm just really thankful. You guys didn't have to come back for me, but you did.
Ikma, I watched my own daughter bleed out on the ground in front of me. I would not want to lose you the way I lost her.
So, does that mean that you see me like a daughter?
Well, the analogy isn't perfect. I see you as someone very close to me.
Yeah, I mean, just a couple of steps, but I still really appreciate it.
And Igmar's on his back, I'm assuming still. Matumbe kind of gives him the bro handshake, half hug, where they like do the handshake where your thumbs interlock, and he brings him in with one arm. And he holds him there just like a little too long. So.
I
thought we almost lost you.
Super loud clap, flexing our muscles all the way through, glistening, oiled up. Yeah, that's exactly it.
There's a metallic clanging when our rock hard abs hit each other.
Oh wait, that was just our armor.
Lyra would also be pretty focused on Ikmar's condition. She was pretty worried that he was lost. So she would just say, I'm glad you found your way back to us, Ikmar. I was so worried you had drifted too far. You know, it's okay to help yourself when you're in deep water. If you pour out too much of yourself for others, there'll be nothing left of you. You have to refill your own spring when the tide is right.
Aw, that's really sweet, Lyra. But I guess I can kind of see what you're saying. I have to stay alive for the pack.
Yeah, the pack.
So Matumbe picks up Ikmar's sword and puts it back in his hand.
Do you feel well enough to stand, boy?
I think I can do it.
Well, then let's get you on your feet.
Very well. It feels good to be able to stand again. You guys were so helpful and all.
And at this point, Eclipse is kind of out of whatever state you might have noticed that she's in. What's happening, Haley?
Obviously, Eclipse is going to be a little shaken up about, like, everything that's happened, but especially after that vision. So, with that, as she walks back towards her friends, she's just going to say, everything's going to be okay. Everything's okay. It's all okay. Go get yourself healed. It's time to go. And as she's, like, walking, she's just giving herself, like, a little bit of it's okay. It's all okay. And, cause I still need to be healed. I'm at 8 out of 38, you know, so I need to get back with the party that actually has, like, the healing, but I need to calm myself down.
So what are the rest of you doing as she approaches? Especially Lyra and Ikmar, because last episode, Ikmar, like, you know, with that, I just had a near-death experience sight, looked over at Eclipse and saw the Lopper. Lyra, you saw, or you heard this conversation happening, and you could hear that part of it wasn't Eclipse, or didn't sound like it was.
After making sure that Ikmar was standing up and no longer dying, Lyra would turn to Matumbe after that vision of Eclipse kind of going a little bit insane. She would say, "There's a very real chance that I will perish in this accursed prison. If my life drains away, leave my body to be swallowed up by the rising waters. It's as good a place as any. Just make sure my spirit isn't trapped here forever. Eclipse can soak up as many spirits as she likes, but I will not become one of her servants. Do not let her trap me for eternity. There's something with her. The Lopper is not gone." And she'll kind of say that in a hushed tone.
Can I roll a fucking perception? I just wanted to keep all of my friends forever.
I don't know. You're kind of mumbling to yourself.
That is true. I'm probably distracted.
And it wasn't like, I think you need to get rid of all your spirits. Lyra just doesn't want to become one of them.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Lyra, I appreciate you entrusting me with this information. And though I trust you all very, very much, if Eclipse tries to take you, I will not let that happen. Your spirit will be free, no matter if you go below the earth or are swallowed up by the waves. If it is your wish for a burial at sea, that will be my command. But I've seen too many people lose parts of themselves. Not physical, but spiritual or mental. When you lose a part of yourself like that, something else takes its place. I fear that maybe we should keep an eye on Eclipse, if what you say is true.
Thank you. I think she's still on her side. I just worry that the spirit might manifest itself in other ways.
Do we tell Ikma?
Well, I'm standing right here.
The adults are talking.
Based on my detective work, you were talking about Eclipse.
And Eclipse hears this now.
Yeah, guys, hi. I'm here. Were you talking about me? Is that what you said?
Yes. How are you doing on health?
Not so good. I could actually probably use some help here.
I found a wand.
Oh yeah, you found it?
Yep.
Fascinating.
Yep.
Definitely didn't come from me, huh?
Nope. Found a wand. How fortuitous.
So are you healing then?
Yeah, I would assume we just heal.
I think there's going to be some vigorous wanding going on here.
Well, not that vigorous, because you guys hardly have any charges on that thing left.
Yeah, I don't know. How many do we have left on the sheet, Haley?
I have 11 out of 25, but that's before we assumed healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so call it 9. He was at -6. I assume 2 average rolls would have gotten him there.
I meant we had used 11, so...
Okay, I thought you guys have used, burned through, in the high teens at this point.
No, I used a lot of Fleshman, some potions, all that jazz.
True.
But
Yeah, you guys did use all your potions, so that makes sense.
But I'll add 2 more for the Ikmer assumption, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at 2 hit points total, so I would appreciate some as well.
So, how about everybody roll as many as they think they need? We all count that up, and then you all roll it and see how many you healed, so that it's not just Haley.
D8 plus
rolling.
1.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go 2.
I have rolled 3 2s in a row.
Nice.
All right, I got 11 points off of 2 charges, so I'm at 13.
Yeah, it's really are you going for full, or are you going for enough to try and get out of here?
I just used 1 charge. I'm up to 17 now.
And how many did you use, Matube?
2.
2. Yeah, I was trying to see how much, where what would get me, so...
But honestly, if we have a few to spare, I'd love 2 more.
I was just gonna use 2.
I had to use up 4 to get up to 22 health,
Nice.
which would be a little bit over halfway.
So I was gonna use 2, so I get up to 18. That's not half, I'm thinking we're leaving?
Yeah,
Trying to.
so what's the game plan at this point? I mean, you guys are healing up.
Can we search the room that we're in?
Yeah. Haley, make me a intelligence check. Or perception. I'm switching back and forth on what I want to roll.
Natural 20?
Yeah, you see this grate that's kind of like been flipped up on this pit, and you recognize it from your vision. And you walk towards the pit and you look down and you see this skeleton at the bottom.
Lyra, push her in, it's our chance.
Kind of mangled looking legs. And you see a couple other items down there. And then you see a skull. A second skull. Looks like there's no body for it down there.
Ah, was that the guy that we fought earlier?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Nice.
How deep is this pit? Like, can I get lower down in there?
The pit is 30 feet deep.
Oh, Jesus, fuck.
You see a rope, but because you have dark vision, you can see that the rope ends 10 feet down.
Is anything down there magical?
You detecting magic?
Yes.
Yes.
How many auras?
Let me see. How many auras? There's 6 auras.
Oh, boy.
So, alignment detection time. All 4 of them.
You don't detect anything.
All right, that's good news. That's great news, actually.
You see that there are more than 6 items down there, but you're detecting 6 auras. I assume you kind of focus, but you're a human, so you can only see the auras, really, because it's dark down there.
Okay, that's
And nobody's thrown like it's actually dark everywhere, but nobody's thrown like a sun rod down, so you can't see down. You can just kind of see in the room.
Hey, Ick? Do you want to come with me down to the pit and grab some of these magical items? I don't think I'll be able to reach by myself up to the rope.
Of course, I'd be more than happy to help you. How do you propose that we get out again? I mean, I can't see any other way to, like, bring the cage up to us.
It's a pit?
Yeah, the cage, it's like a pit that had was covered with like a cage, and the cage door is open. Sorry, I didn't describe that perfectly.
So, I guess, Ick, if both of us go down and there's only 10 feet from the ground, maybe you can raise me up and then hang on my legs while I pull us up. Some serious strength checks. Probably.
This would be some serious climb checks.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know what else to do. Like, I want to get that stuff, but I can't. My character physically will not be able to reach it.
And we...
How?
None of you will. It's 20 feet down from the end of the rope.
You said 10.
Yeah, you said 10.
No, I said there's 10 feet of rope.
I had it
30 feet
backwards.
And you could try and climb down.
I had it
the side
totally
of
backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, okay, well, somebody's taking 2d6 of fall damage either way.
Matume's going to take a step back away from the edge of the pit because it's canon that he's afraid of heights.
What would a climb check look like down the side?
Make a perception or survival.
Ick, you want to do survival? No. I got an 8 on the die, so that will be a 14.
It looks pretty smooth. You're not sure if you'd be able to make it down, but I mean, you feel like, it's definitely possible.
Would you describe it as an uneven surface with narrow handholds and footholds, such as a typical wall in a dungeon?
Would you make me a perception check?
16.
16? Yep. You would think that this was probably made smooth so that whatever's down there can't come back up.
It's going to be very difficult.
Hey, Ick, how good are you at catching things?
I think I'm pretty good. I tend to catch a lot of things with my face, but that's okay too.
I think you might be one of the more athletic one. So I think I might be able to pull some of this stuff up with my mind. Can you catch it?
Yeah, I think I could do that.
What's your weight limit on that?
Up to 5 pounds.
You're going to be able to get a couple things, but not everything. And hardly any of the magic items.
Well, goddamn.
I mean, you can get some. You can see down. But you don't know where the auras are.
Did no one else get rope? Was it just me who brought rope to this adventure?
I didn't bring rope.
Yeah, no rope here.
Now, you do see Eclipse. You see that there's rope at the bottom. So if somebody would, were to, drop down, the rest of the rope looks like it's down there.
Oh.
I also have rope.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You serious?
wow, that
Yeah,
would be real nice.
I'm figuring out Hero Lab. Sorry. It took me 3 clicks to actually get there.
That's not good.
So you have one of the adventuring kits. So you probably
Yes.
have 50 feet of rope.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 pounds that I've been lugging around.
Okay. You can actually probably tie that to the grate as long as somebody puts weight on it. It's a good, you could loop around it and it's secure. So
I'm 300 pounds. I'll hold the grate or sit on it or
sit
something.
on the grate.
Yeah, we both could.
I'm happy to go down there
Boys.
because I'm 33 pounds, so
Okay.
shouldn't be super heavy.
So it's a climb braced against a wall. So that's, I think, still a DC 5.
Lear will cast guidance on you before you go down.
Well, just imagine, do you have a negative score?
I have a 3.
If you have a 3, let's just say you make it down. We don't have to make the checks.
Because
You can't fail it.
Right.
Yeah.
The
It's
worst thing
DC5.
the worst thing you can do, and the
Is
climb
just not
rules,
move.
right? It's
Yeah.
just not move.
So you
Oh,
make it
okay.
down. You look around. You see, as you're kind of digging through stuff, you see this body. Are you, touching any of the stuff down here?
Yep. Touching it all.
So-
What else do? I touch every object and I'm gonna get cursed by everything.
You just feel this wave of, sadness when you touch the body. And then it passes, and you actually find a bunch of items.
Like what, Griffin?
So you find, it looks like whatever, well, this is the lopper at the bottom here. You do. You know that it looks like he stocked up during this prison riot and then got trapped down here and so jumped down here to basically see if he could wait it out. He's carrying a heavy mace, this odd stone. He's got a crossbow slung across his back. He's actually got a long sword at his hip. There's a couple vials and the armor he's wearing.
Okay, guys, so there's quite a bit of stuff down here. So I'm gonna make a couple trips, and while I'm down there, can Lyra start checking it out? And I'll just keep making trips back and forth.
If you cast light on something and throw it down, Lear could point out.
I'm just gonna bring it all up.
Oh, okay, that works too.
Okay.
Cool.
I can't fail. I can't really fail the climb. There's no point in not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll say you just ferry it up and then you guys can do a, combination of spellcraft or object reading if you...
yeah, on that last trip though, while Lyra's distracted and those two are holding the gate, I would like to try and be as quiet as possible and detach his skull and please shove that in my backpack.
Okay, make a stealth check.
18.
You guys tell me what your characters are doing. At this point, she's brought all these items up. Are you really paying attention to what Eclipse is doing down there? Or are you more concerned with the items?
My thoughts are, especially if she's ferrying items back and forth. I mean, by the second or third trip, watching her down in a pit is not novel to me anymore.
Right.
So I'm not watching her every movement. If she had, just terrible shit stealth roll, like, and maybe like drop something or something, Mitume might look down, but I realistically don't
what
think
I'm asking is, if you're watching her, make a perception check. If you're not, I just want your regular, like, your base perception. So, like, 10 plus your perception plus your perception modifier.
So just like a passive perception.
Yeah, your passive perception.
That would take me up to 14.
Ikmer would probably be actually like paying attention. So he'll roll that. Or he'll see what he sees. 2 on the die means that you are pretty stealthy.
And honestly, he's the only one that could actually look and see what Eclipse is doing.
Oh, that's a good point.
So the other 2 of you would really only be able to hear. And it seems like Ikmer's not really paying attention. So, yes, you can put that in your bag. Make a perception check in the bottom before you leave.
Okay.
Be sure to check the bottom.
Natural 1.
Okay. You're kind of busy. You're busy taking parts of the lopper. So, you don't really notice anything else. I mean, you found a bunch of items, so you're pretty pleased.
Yeah, and I mean, after the last, after the last trip up, probably just say, Lyra, I think I got everything. Can you just double check there's nothing else magical that I left?
Yeah, she would attempt to detect magic in the pit.
You detect nothing.
Okay. She would have started then to, like, split out the magical items so we can actually pay attention to those.
So you see that the heavy mace, magical. This strange stone, magical. The armor, magical. And then these vials, these 3 vials are magical. Am I getting some spellcraft? Am I getting some... You touching them?
Oh, I'm going to hold that stone.
Okay, you hold the stone. You don't get any distinct visions from it, but it's treated as if you passed a spellcraft check, correct?
Correct.
So you know that it's a stone of alarm.
So I know what the spell alarm means, but what's a stone of alarm?
It's like a stone with a persistent alarm spell cast on it. So
that's awesome.
It's kind of like, say you were sleeping in the warden's office, for instance, and you wanted to put it by the door.
Crazy situation.
You wanted to put it by the door to make sure the door doesn't open while you're asleep. It's one of those things where, there's one entrance to this room. The alarm spell is going to go off if somebody comes into this room.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's a pretty cool item. If you make like a knowledge local or a history check.
History it is.
If anybody,
Natural 20?
Okay, you definitely know, like, this is definitely something pilfered from, like, the guards' supplies. A stone of alarm is something that prisons would have, that this prison in particular would have. So it seems like the Lopper may have found some sort of guard cache, and that's why he's so well equipped.
That would take me a full minute. So if you guys would be doing any kind of other stuff.
If Lyra wants to be...
Those vials, natural 20?
Natural 20. Those are 3 filters of cure moderate wounds. Now remember that filters act as 2 potions. So you have 3 of them, but it's essentially 6 cure moderate wounds.
We really needed that.
Anybody else doing anything, or is Eclipse grabbing the next item at this point?
So I think Eclipse could probably just keep going. I mean, 6. Why roll a spellcraft if she could just do it automatically?
Yeah, I mean, I could grab the armor if Lyra just wants to do the mace, so it's like concurrent.
Sure.
So I'll do the armor.
So there is a door and smaller room, I guess, in the middle of the cell block and the main prison area downstairs. Ikmer would try to go into that room and, I guess, investigate.
Okay, make a perception check when you get in there.
8.
You could tell that it's a guard room. Within it, you see a table surrounded by a few rickety chairs. There's a couple of like moldy cots. But with an 8, that's pretty much all you gather from this room. You think like, okay, this doesn't look like a cell. This looks like maybe where guards would have been. And you know that this is where that flaming skeleton came out of.
Okay.
The headless one.
Ooh, does that mean he was a guard?
Well,
Who
based
knows?
on Eclipse's vision and the skull found at the bottom of the pit.
Could be. But Ikmer definitely doesn't know that.
together. That was that dude's skull.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ikmer might take a little while, but
that's cool.
I figured it out.
Yeah, you guys piece that together really quick?
No.
Okay,
So Ikmer would then turn to the group and be like,
Nothing here but a couple of beds and, looks like a table for poker.
All right. With Lyra and Eclipse doing all their object reading and stuff, Matume is just going to do some like quick, easy checks of the cells. Just nothing. Probably just like my passive 14 for everything. Like nothing. He's not
nothing like he's not particularly looking.
No, just kind of peeking his head in to see if there's anything wacky.
He really, I mean, they're empty.
Yeah.
I imagine he examines like one and then kind of gets like the gist on a couple of them. So maybe do one roll.
Sure. I will go ahead and do one roll. And change out my d20, see what that does for me. Good things, apparently. That's a 22. Off the
22.
sky blue d20.
You can tell that this lock looks like it's like scratched all over.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, well, I think Matumbe is intelligent enough to intuit that a lock would only be this scratched if like a bunch of different keys were tried.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And I think as he kind of looks around, now that he's kind of looked at one cell and is looking at that, he kind of sees that for a couple of the cells. He looks back and he does notice that like one of the things Eclipse has brought up is a ring of keys.
In my knowledge of all the prison shows I've seen, there's a riot and a prisoner runs in with a thing of keys and starts trying to unlock all his buddies, probably.
Yep.
Makes sense.
So this is now the, second ring of keys we've got?
Fucking lot of keys.
Yep, you got some keys. These are tier 2 keys. A B rank key. So the armor, that is what you were. The armor is +1 studded leather armor. Are you spellcrafting the mace?
Yes, and I got a 20.
Oh, then you know that is a +1 heavy mace. And I shit you not, despite Lyra using that is in the book verbatim.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think Lyra's gonna keep that one.
Yeah, she definitely knows it's better quality than what she's currently using. You found a bunch of stuff, but you have identified the magical stuff. Why don't you make an appraise check on the other stuff real quick? And you guys can just do like, honestly for this one, if Matumbe and Eclipse want to roll, we'll take the higher roll and aid the other one. Like the other person, if they aid, they can aid.
I got a natural one, so...
All
I
right.
got a 14.
I got a natural 19. That's a 22.
Cool.
Okay, so you know that the crossbow that was brought up is a masterwork heavy crossbow. Oh, and then you have the longsword. You know that is also a masterwork longsword.
Okay.
Very cool.
And you have the ring of keys.
It's been a good day, guys. Got a good haul.
So you guys, yeah, you found a lot by going down there. Glad one of you had rope. You probably like untie the rope and take it back with you, I'm assuming.
Yes, definitely.
And again, if you start to become over encumbered, you have this big old bag of holding that can pretty much hold. I mean, it's not nearly full with what you guys are putting it, so.
Exactly. And I was thinking about untying or climbing up the rope from the main area to the upstairs, or I guess like to the main floor, and then just waiting up there for you guys, but I'm glad you had rope.
Oh, you were gonna climb up, drop the rope down.
And then, and
Yeah,
then
just
sit
hang
and wait
out.
for it, and then wait
Oh.
for it up top so that.
That's a good idea.
Like,
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good
That's a
idea.
pretty good idea.
I mean,
But yeah, you had some rope. So you guys found all that. What's the plan now?
Wait, real quick. Who wants that armor?
I have scale mail on already. So.
Right.
Well, what's the armor bonus off that?
+4.
+4. And I'm assuming it's medium?
Yeah.
No, it's studded leather.
Yeah. +1 medium, like
Is that a-
size, studded leather.
yeah.
No, Matumbe. It is extra small.
I thought you meant medium armor. I was like,
That's-
leather armor is.
Well, that's actually what I was asking.
Yeah, no.
'Cause
It's light armor.
Okay. I don't need it. I have my horn armor that's given me a +5.
I have armor that's a +4, but I guess
I can't wear it.
You can get it resized. You can't wear it right now, but
Right.
I mean, like a dude in town can resize that for you very quickly.
Just get a little water on it and let it shrink to your
it,
body.
shrink it up. Just swim with it. Have Lyra swim with it for a while in that like dank pool of water.
I can make 6 gallons of clean water right now. So
Just
we don't need to use the
Go.
gross water.
dump water.
So I imagine Eclipse will hold on to that and
Sure.
resize it if you guys go back to town.
Why not?
Yeah, we'll throw that in the bag of holding, I think.
And Lyra's holding the heavy mace. The Stone of Alarm will be useful to you guys, And then who's taking the potions? Is Lyra taking all of them, or do you want to like?
I don't know that that's a great idea.
Usually not.
Yeah, I can cast the
Right.
healing, so I feel like you all could take one and then drink it yourself, just in case I'm not there. And you run down a hallway and you're alone and you're bleeding out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Why are you looking? Yeah, why are you looking at me?
fine.
Considering that Lyra has a lot of healing ability, and we essentially have 6 potions, it's three files, or right? That's it. Filters.
Filters. 3 filters.
I think we go 1-1-1. Eclipse, Matumbe, Ick.
That sounds good. And remember, you can do that like 4-round action to drink the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to get the, 4d8 plus 4. I think that's what it is.
Cool.
Okay, so if you guys are leaving, which I assume you're doing, unless you're continuing to explore if you've healed up, it's up to you. The day is young. Actually, weirdly enough, you guys you rested in the warden's office. You came downstairs kind of in the morning, and as much time as it feels like has passed, it's probably only been like an hour. I mean, if you think about climbing down took 30 seconds to a minute. If you're Matumbe, 5 minutes.
It was about 5 minutes.
The combat in the room with the water with the ectoplasms took, 30 seconds. Same with the skeleton fight. Same with the fight against the headless skeleton. And the Lopper fight maybe took a minute and a half. Then you guys are doing all this stuff in this room. That maybe takes 15 minutes. You really have only been down here maybe an hour.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, if we wanted to drink 1 or 2 or both of the filters right now, we could definitely. I think I could bang out another cell block.
I think what we should do is go back upstairs. We will have to pound some filters because a rest isn't going to cut it, but we should probably rest up. And the 8-hour rest doesn't have to be 8 hours of sleeping. It's 8 hours of taking it easy and praying and all that stuff. But I mean, we're out of abilities. We're out of Lyra healing. We're out of my shitty spells.
No, I agree. Like, Lyra is tapped out of spells. I don't know how Eclipse is on spells, but she used a couple. Matumbe might be okay. I don't know. You use protection from evil and
Yeah, like I use spells that are helpful, but not like my character's clearly not built around spellcasting, but I'd rather have him than not have him.
Do you normally use protection?
Nope. I've only ever used protection in one encounter, if you've been listening to the show.
Ladies.
Well, you made her use protection. You didn't use it.
Oh,
Ladies, he's single.
God damn it. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, carrying crowd.
Okay, so
Hashtag Steve's ready for a baby.
all I need to know is, are you continuing down here? Are you continuing on in this basement? Or are you heading upstairs?
Lyra would definitely push for heading upstairs. She is completely drained and probably really feeling the like oppressive power of the prison because she has no more spells. She cannot inspire courage anymore. And she just feels like she'd be fairly useless at this point if she was to continue on, and it would just be a hazard to the group.
Okay. But she has a +1 heavy mace now, so.
That's pretty sweet.
Evil denizens, look out.
Yeah, I would die so fast if I was standing next to someone.
All right. I mean,
So what does Lyra
really
say
not-
then to, like, convince the group?
I really need to rest. I think in the next rooms, we'll need to be at our full strength. If they're anything like this one, there's still 4 more spirits out there, and I'm sure they're just as strong as the Lopper. Ikmer almost died, and the rest of us weren't faring so well either. If I'm not fully ready, I think I'll just pull everybody down.
I agree. I think I need some time with my thoughts.
I would also like to consult the lady.
That sounds good to me. Majority rules and all, so I am gonna take Lyra's advice to heart and staying alive a little bit and protecting the pack, but I think resting is a good idea. And I can lead the way.
Okay.
So if we start walking out of there, Matsume's going to hold Lyra back a little bit.
Okay.
He just has something quick he wants to say.
Lyra,
Quickie?
Jesus.
Protection from evil.
Not cast.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right. So Matsume will say,
Lyra, I do believe in balance in all things. And you ask something of me, I would like to ask something of you. Is that acceptable?
Of course.
If I am to perish here before you, read the last page in my book and then burn it.
and then he walks away.
Ooh, ominous.
Very cool. I like it. I also thought it was pretty funny that you approached Lyra. You guys were the only ones talking to each other, and you still asked, "Can I ask you a question?"
He's polite.
You guys were already talking.
He's polite.
So you guys head into the room filled with water, and you remember, because Ikmer read all the plaques, you head into Hell's basement. The water reaches your calves, then your waists, and you see that your rope is still dangling there. You climb. It's an easy climb. I'm not going to make you roll for it, I imagine. You all take your time at this point. You're hurting, and you probably, take a 10 and climb and get out. You enter the training room once again with the dummies. You look at them and it's just, you've been through so much in this prison. They just look like targets. Like you realize how stupid this whole prison was. You realize how, these guards thought they had these things under control. They thought they could keep the prisoners down with this, display of power. and you realize they were wrong. You walk through the room with the cold spot. You run. Ikmer, your sword is warm.
Oh my goodness, this... Well, I almost didn't believe it, but you know what, guys? The sandal of my horn is warm.
God damn it.
Fuck. I just am so excited.
You make it through the doors. You see all of the doors are open. Even the one leading to the outside. Make a perception check.
Another natural one.
Good job.
Wow, you got that Steve luck.
I rolled so many 20s and then all ones.
15 total.
19.
16 total.
Okay. 15 and above. Sorry, Eclipse. You hear buzzing. And you hear this haunting tune. And it sounds like it's coming from above you. You look up. It sounds muffled by the ceiling, maybe. It's this just dirge playing, these pipes.
Lyra grabs the flute and makes sure that it's not like harmonizing to the music.
It's not making any sound.
Okay.
You hear this, and the front door is open. Do you leave?
As a player, I think we should do our best to lock it and keep it closed. As a character, Ikmar wouldn't know any better.
I mean, it's been closed this whole time. It's open now. It's our opportunity to leave and maybe buy stuff that we need to rest up at Kendra's place instead of staying at the warden's office. But also meta knowledge, that seems a little too good to be true.
You can hear it.
Upstairs?
Yeah.
We're not upstairs. That's the second level of the prison.
Yeah, there's those balconies and shit.
I think Lyra would be on the same page. Like the allure of leaving the prison and kind of getting out of all of the craziness would sound really great. And also, she is pretty curious about how the flute works that she got. So she would be kind of interested in maybe testing it out too if there's Sturges around.
I think to build on that, if we hear this spirit or this wraith or this ghost playing an instrument upstairs and we can hear Sturges buzzing upstairs and the door's open, we'd be like, no, we can't handle another giant encounter. We should actually just leave.
I think we should just rest. If we leave, we are leaving it vulnerable to escaping for everyone that was in there escaping.
Well, you know that, your characters would all know that Visoriana's keeping it at bay, but she has a timeline. Like, she's keeping the spirits pretty much contained, but once her name is spelled out, she's gone.
Maybe we do give up this opportunity and just go back to the warden's office. Not leave, just rest up.
I'm going to put it to a vote. And if it's tied, then we'll roll a dice. How's that?
Sure.
Those in favor of leaving, say aye.
Aye.
That's a tie vote, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll a d6. Odds, you leave. Evens, you stay. You leave.
we're all dead.
And as you leave, and I imagine you leave in a hurry, hearing this, you look back, and you see from the balcony this figure. Emaciated looking, wreathed in shadow, with sturges buzzing around it, and one very large sturge. And you hear this dirge playing. And as you flee from the prison, the figure waves at you. And I need you guys to finish your drinks, because we'll see you next week.
Oh, I knew it.
Tense.